Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Dice Paradise, or welcome if you are new. Today we are going to be getting into our November TBR. Okay, so my November TBR is going to be very short. One, I have found that I've been averaging maybe about 2 books a month this year, and I'm okay with that. Like, if that's what I'm flowing with, then that's perfectly fine. I've already determined that I'm probably not going to be getting through all of the books that I have on this TBR. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first we're gonna start with the library books. I went to the library yesterday and I picked up 2 books. The first book that I picked up was Faithful by Alice Hoffman. So I have read 2 Alice Hoffman books in my life. Yeah, my whole life. And they were young adult books, and I really liked her young adult books. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and try reading an Alice Hoffman adult fiction book. So it says, growing up on Long Island, Shelby Richmond is an ordinary girl until one night an extraordinary tragedy changes her fate. Her best friend's future is destroyed in an accident while Shelby walks away with the burden of guilt. So supposedly this book is kind of like exploring themes about grief and guilt and everything. And I don't know, I'm kind of interested to see just if I like it. The next book that I have on my November TBR is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. If y'all don't know, I love Tiffany D. Jackson. That's my girl. Oh, and I recently just read The Scammer. I have 5 of her books so far, I believe. Yeah, 5. When I say like she has not missed once. Like, I have enjoyed every single book that I've read by her. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's see if we can keep the ball rolling. Let's see if we can continue with this streak. I'm gonna get into my Kindle Unlimited books that I have on my radar. But we have Beverly Jenkins' Wild Rain. And this book pretty much just follows a woman in Wisconsin, and she is a farm owner, I believe, and pretty much she's just out there living on her own. She's highly independent, and a man comes in and he's like, oh, you know, I'm here to interview your brother, blah blah blah, and we'll see what happens. Okay, next book on this Kindle Unlimited is Stolen by the Gargoyle. Now this book, I started reading this book this morning, and y'all, I was like, this is hilarious. It's not even like, it's definitely the cover is eaten down. Okay, y'all. Oh, those are my Kindle Unlimited books that are currently on my radar. The next 2 books are my physical books that I own, and I have been trying very hard to shop my shelves. I am currently on a book buying ban. I am currently on a book buying ban, so no books for the foreseeable future, probably until 2027 at this point, because that's how life is looking. Okay. All right, so then I have Can't Get Enough by Kennedy Ryan. This book has definitely been on my radar this whole time. I started some of it, but I have not been able to finish it. I was reading some of it in October, but yeah, wasn't able to finish it, so I decided to go ahead and carry it into the month of November. And then the last book on my November TBR is Neferura. Now, let me talk about this book. I bought this book months ago. Like, I mean, it was definitely sometime this year. I don't remember what month, but it was definitely a while ago. Neferura, princess and high priestess of Kemet, knows her duty is to her people. When your mother is the great pharaoh, it is hard to forget. But Neferura's unique position at court comes with the high stakes for her country, especially when she's forced to serve her vile half-brother, a man determined to stop Neferura's potential rise. So I don't know if you guys remember those books, like back in the days, like the Cleopatra books, like the historical fiction books that kind of detail the lives and stories of like women in history. But I have been looking up and down for those books in my library and I cannot find them. But months ago, I bought this book and I totally forgot about it, and it's been sitting up on my shelf. I think I need to get back into this book because I have been thinking very heavily about just ancient Egyptian philosophy, ancient Egyptian culture, and ancient Egyptian like history and whatnot. And it's one of those things that I've always just loved my entire life. Like I used to read those Cleopatra books and everything, those historical fictions. So I've always loved that stuff. And I found this book on my shelf and I was like, hold up, baby girl, why are you not reading this? So this is definitely going to be on my radar because I am definitely wanting to get back into kind of not necessarily historical fiction, because I don't really like historical fiction like that, but I do love like stuff that centers around ancient Egypt and ancient Egyptian mythology, ancient Egyptian culture, ancient Egyptian politics. I really love stuff like that. So I'm really excited to get into this story, at least for this month, and we'll see how it goes. The last book that is on my radar for November is Blood Over Brighthaven by M.L. Wang. So this book is pretty much, I don't know anything about this book. I'm going to be really very honest with you. I don't know anything about this book. I know that it came out last year and I know that people were like super interested in it, and it came out like right around Halloween. So I was like, you know what? Like I was going to read this for Halloween, but I ended up sleeping for Halloween. Okay. It was great. You should try it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna read this as an audiobook, just like when I'm bored or whatnot, when I'm driving in the car, because I be driving in the car all the time. I'm gonna try going ahead and just reading this in the car whenever I can. So this is my last book on my November TBR, Blood Over Brighthaven. Just to kind of give me a little, I don't know, I guess dark academia time. I think that's the trope of this one. We'll see. But yeah, those are all of the books that I have on my November TBR. What books are you looking to read this month? Go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.